And we're going to start the recording on TalkShoe. Hello.
Recording started.
Hello. Welcome to a live double streaming of the Indigo Room. Hi, I'm your host, Sydney Chase, and you have joined us live in the Indigo Room. Today is December 31st. That's right, 2018. And the last time I talked to y'all, I think was, I don't even want to say, but it was a while ago. So today is December 31st, 2018. I am your host of the Indigo Room, Sydney Chase, and this is where we discuss all things spiritual. And by that I mean, what? Everything's spiritual, really, when you look at it. We are all physical human beings, spiritual beings having a physical human experience. Life is supposed to be good, even when it's wicky-wacky, even when it's out of control, even when it sends you over the edge. I know about going over the edge in a barrel over the cliff. Even when that happens, life is supposed to be good. It's supposed to be delicious. It's supposed to be fun. We can make it fun. Yes, I am broadcasting right now. Can you hear me? Is that Gary? Yep, I'm broadcasting right now. I'm broadcasting on TalkShoe and I'm broadcasting on YouTube at the same time. I'm doing it at the same time. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. You should have seen me trying to get the music going. But anyway, this is the last hour of 2018, the last hour. So I decided I was trying to figure out how to bring the Indigo Room back. And today's topic is new beginnings. And what is one new thing you want to learn this year? And how are you going to begin to do that? And we're going to talk about a couple of other things. What's new for the Indigo Room, what we're going to be doing this year, where we're going, and what happened. Like I lost all of my. I told you on the little snippet that I did, the little teaser, that I lost pretty much all of them, all of my all of our previous recordings. So in a way, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we have to start from scratch. And starting from scratch, sometimes can feel like it's, daunting and it's overwhelming. But starting from scratch is not always a bad thing because you've learned a lot already. You know a lot already. You did all of the stuff that, you made all of the mistakes. You made all of the mistakes that you wanted to, that you didn't want to make, but you did. And so starting over might not be as bad as we make it out to be. Because when I lost all of my, when I thought all of the Indigo Room shows were gone, and they're not really gone, they're still inside of me. When I thought all of them were gone, I started to have heart palpitations. I started to panic. I was like, what am I going to do? But then I sat down and I did a meditation. And in my meditation, it said, I heard, or, I felt, you know what, Sydney, this is no big deal. How many times have you started over? I don't know, like 1,000,000, 1,000. Who knows? So that's what we want to talk about tonight. And I wanted to spend New Year's Eve with you guys because, I haven't seen or talked to you or heard you or chatted with any of you in such a very, very long time. And hopefully I can ring in the new year with some of you. That would be nice. And if I can't, I'll say Happy New Year to you anyway. So again, I said that this is a new medium for me, being on YouTube, where you can see my face and my teeth and my eyes and my hair and all that. And I'm not used to, being live on screen, but I'm used to being live on the Talk Shoe radio station. So we have a few new things. First of all, besides Talk Shoe deleting all of my podcasts, not all of them are gone, but the majority of them are gone. And it's a little hot in here. I got to open up a window, and hopefully there won't be a lot of noise because I live by a busy highway, and I'm broadcasting in the living room, and usually I'm in the back in another space, in my office space, but it's hot in here, so I have to open up a window. Hold on a second. Okay, hopefully the traffic noise won't be too bad. If it gets too bad, then I'll close it. My apartment is very, very warm. It's like the tropics in here. I'm not complaining about the heat, but when you come in and you got a sweater on or you're wearing some clothes, you have to strip. So, but anyway, there's some new things here at TalkShoe, and that I want to talk to you about. You can join us live if you don't want to watch the live stream and you don't want to watch my face and you don't want to see me. You can also visit us at talkshoe.com, and it is the Indigo room. And the talk ID number is still the same. It's 33443. Thank goodness that didn't change. But we have a new call-in number. Here's the paper. The call-in number is 605-562 if you're calling in from the United States. 605-562-0444. If you're calling in from another country, guess what? You can now call in from another country without trying to figure out how to do that. There are numbers listed on the call when it comes up, and it shows, they ask you about, the call information. So if you want to see the call information, you can call in from wherever, and it's a local call. That's what they say. I don't know. I'm not calling from another country. So y'all will have to tell me later how that worked. Also, TalkShoe also now is doing video streaming. So we may do some shows from TalkShoe that are video streamed, that are separate from the live stream here at YouTube. But we'll see. So it's all new. It's all trying to figure it all out. Hi, Gary. Gary joined me in the Hi. Gary joined me on YouTube too. Hi, Gary. Hi. So it's a little bit different. It's just a different way to broadcast to you all. And then I found out that I can also bring in Skype. So sometimes, hi, Linda. I'll also be able to bring you all in, and you can join the Indigo room that way through Skype. I'm still working on that. I have to figure that all out, but it's coming. And also, I wanted to just go back to some of the things that we used to do back in the day. I am sweating and I need a napkin. Oh, here they go. Sorry, you didn't want to see all that, but I should have these things ready. Why is the recording stopping? It's so weird. The music is coming on. I don't know why.
TalkShoe Live. This episode is being recorded and streamed live on TalkShoe.com.
I don't know why that happened.
The online studio. You are unmuted and can speak with the host.
This new TalkShoe.
Muted.
This new talk show. Wow. This new talk show. I think it needs to work out some kinks. So what I'm going to do is log out of talk show. And we're going to just go into the YouTube stream. Okay. That's better.
Recording paused.
I don't know. We're going to just do, yeah, they need to work on that a little bit. Because it doesn't even recognize me as the host, which is very weird. So, anyway, we're just going to do it here. Linda, if you could do me a favor and just put in the chat, because it's still open, that we moved over to YouTube totally and completely. That we're just going to go over to YouTube. That's it. If you could do that for me, that would be great. Anyway, getting back to, never mind, we're leaving talk show. That's it. I'm done. That stressed me out. So how are you, Linda? How are you, Gary? Thank you for being here and joining us today. How you doing? What's going on? Anything new before I get to talking? Okay. Gary, are you there? So we are going to go back and do some of the things that we used to do in the beginning of the Indigo Room. Lovely, doing good. Yay. How's the cat? Do you still have the cat? I talked to Linda earlier today, so I got to catch up with her. One of the things that I have started doing is tickling my amygdala. Remember when we used to tickle our amygdala? Do you remember that? So I wanted to start the show out today just doing some of the things that we know that used to work and that were fun and that felt good. We're also going to be bringing back Neville Goddard, so we're going to be starting again with him. We're going to be going over the resurrection. Where is it? The resurrection. We're going to do that again by Neville Goddard. Okay, it looks backwards, but that's what we're going to be studying. We're also going to be going over the I AM Discourses. So if you don't have it, you should get it. This is a really great book, and it's been helping me to get back on track. And have you all been doing anything to get yourselves back on track, figure out, to rejuvenate yourself, or have you already been doing that? What are some of the things that you've been doing to keep your mind out of the wicky wackiness? I know what I've been doing. I went back to my I am statements, and I have been also, we're going to talk about binaural beats. That has become pretty popular, I think, on YouTube and on Spotify. You can find them now. They're not really difficult to find. When we first started them, when we first started listening to them a few years ago, they were not really everywhere. So now there's a lot of them. Reading lots of Neville lately. Cool. When did you start up reading Neville again? Because I started up reading Neville, I think in November, maybe October. Started really just rereading him and the I AM Discourses again. I started that in November. I said, I have to get back to what I was doing before. And what I was doing before was working. And then I got off track because I had a lot of wicky-wacky stuff happening in my life. I went up and down and up and down, and we lost family members. That was really stressful. I lost a lot of friends. Martha Hart, this show is dedicated to her, and she's the one who actually, she knew that I loved this book, and she bought this for me. She bought me two of the I AM Discourses books and sent them to me in the mail. And I don't know, that her death and my cousin really kind of hit me hard this year. And she passed away in April. And she used to moderate the I Am Statements group. And we just sending love and light to her and on her journey, that she's on her next journey. And I miss her a great deal. But I know that she is not in any more pain and that she's much better. But Martha was, if I don't know if you remember, was the woman who came to live with me when I used to live in Pennsylvania. And she needed a place to stay, and she wound up coming to live with me and Sean. And I didn't know her from a can of paint when she came to live with me. Didn't know her at all. Never seen her. Had no idea how she was going to be in my house. And we just became really good friends. And I got to speak with her. It's so crazy. She had called me the week before she passed away. Actually, one of her friends had reached out to me and said that she was in the hospital. And they had sent a message, but her friend was not my friend, so I didn't get the message immediately. And when I finally looked at it, I was like, oh my God, she's in the hospital. So I called, and when I called, when I reached out to her friend, she said, well, she's home now. I was like, oh, okay. So I gave her a call. I was at work, and I gave her a call, and she said that, she was home, and she was in really good spirits, and she sounded great, actually. And she said to me that they told her she had cancer. And we talked about that, and that was on a Friday. No, yeah, it was I guess a Tuesday or something like that. And towards the late of the week, and she said that the next week was when she was going to start chemo. No, that Friday. I'm sorry, that Friday she was going to start chemo. And okay, I'll call you over the weekend. And then the weekend came, and I was like, I know that chemo makes people tired, and they don't really want to talk and everything like that. So I figured I'd give her the weekend, give her the break. And, I didn't want to just question her about how she was doing, how you feeling. Thank you, Linda, for going in the chat, by the way, and doing that and letting people know that we're not there. And I called her on Monday. And, or Tuesday, again, another week later. And when I called, she didn't answer the phone. A friend of hers, David, that was living, that she used to work with, answered her phone. And I didn't know who he was. It was a man answering the phone. And I was like, I'm looking for Martha. And he said, yeah, she's here. Who's this? I was like, well, who is this? And he said, I said, well, it's Sydney. He said, oh, it's Sydney, because he had heard about me, and he told me who he was, and I knew about him. And he said, well, I don't know if you know that Martha is sick. And I was like, yeah, I know. I talked to her last week. Can I talk to her now? Why is my nose running? And he said, no, she's really sick. I was like, what do you mean she's really sick? I mean, it went from 0 to 100, and she was in hospice. And I was like, well, can I speak to her? And I spoke to her that day, and I kept singing to her, and I was reading to her from the I AM Discourses. I was reading to her from Neville. I sang to her. I was on the phone with her for a few hours, and I guess they laid the phone next to her, and she knew it was me because I was like, it's Sydney, do you know? And she was like, yes, Sydney, yeah. And she was so weak. She went from being vibrant and talking and laughing with me the week before to this week, nothing. And then she was tired, and I hung up the phone, and I told her family, I told her daughter, and I said, please call me. I want to talk to her later. I'll call later. And something inside me, I don't know. I called later. I just decided, you know what? I gotta keep calling. So I kept calling. Nobody was picking up the phone. And then I finally got the message that she had passed that day, within hours of me talking to her. So I'm glad I remembered, I'm glad I followed my gut to call when I did, because if I had waited any longer, I would have missed that opportunity to spend with her before she passed. So she was still in good spirits all the way to the end. And I just loved her. We wound up, Michonne loved her, called her Auntie Martha. And we just loved her. So anyway, this show is dedicated to Martha today. Another show will be dedicated to my other friends and family later on. But I know that this time is hard for a lot of people who have lost a lot of people. And I just believe that, they took off this outfit, this skin that we're wearing, and they transitioned and they went to a different place. I always say that, it's harder for the people that we leave than it is for us to leave. And I know that because I had my own near-death experience, and I know how that feels. And it's just like taking off your pajamas and putting on something new and trying something different. Yes, Linda, Martha was amazing. She was an amazing person, an amazing woman, and an amazing friend. And we love you and we miss you. So anyway, I think what we're going to do today is tickle our amygdala. And if there's something that you want to talk about, if you have a topic that you want to talk about, please let me know. Put it in the comments or put it in the chat. I'm going to put up links once the show is done, how to get in contact with me, how to get in contact with the Indigo Room. If you have no idea what the Indigo Room is, we talk about all things spiritual, and we talk about how to create your reality, how to feel better, how to move through the chaos in this universe. Because I got to tell you, I was chaotic. I was wicky wacky for a while. All right. How did I get myself out of that? You got to figure out, you got to look at where you are and what's happening. And if you don't like what's happening, you have to figure out, well, what tools do I have in my toolbox that I can reach into that work? And I know what works for me. And so I had to dig, I had to go digging in my toolbox because, some of them were dusty, 2 years worth of dust, or a year and a half worth of dust. Because I was doing my meditations, I was doing some of my I am statements, but I really, really, things were all over the place. I had a relationship that didn't work out, a love relationship with a man that didn't work out. He drove me crazy. I drove him crazy. We drove each other crazy. So that didn't work out, and that, sent me over the edge. I had to do a lot of work on myself with that one, a lot of forgiveness. Whew, Lord, have us mercy. But now I feel better. You know what? It's all cool. I don't know where he is, and I'm not looking for him. So, you know, if you know who he is, don't tell him where I'm at. Oh, Gary, you know that story? Yes, that story is not fun. It's just not fun. I don't know. I think in the end, I started to question my own self. You know, I was like, I had to write down I had to pull out a list. I had to write it down of all of the reasons why I am not with this person anymore, because, you know, they kept trying to come back. Well, you know, and calling and all that stuff. And I had to keep reminding myself, okay, this is the reason, Sid, right? This is the reason right here. Look, read your letter. This is the reason. Don't do it. And then I had to write a letter to myself about how wonderful I am and how much I love myself. Yes, the self-questioning is really stressful. It could drive you nuts. And think about this. If you're paying attention to that, you're not paying attention to what's going on inside of you. You're paying attention to what's going on outside of you. And outside of you can be chaotic and crazy and out of control, and you're not paying attention to what's going inside. And when you focus on the outside, you're not paying attention to your God self. And then your God self can help you navigate what you need to navigate. So you have to think about where you're putting your attention. And where you're putting your attention, that is what manifests, right? I had to keep reminding myself, you know, I had to keep looking in my toolbox and going, okay, I can't keep thinking about this. I can't keep focusing on this. I have to now start to focus on my God self. And then, you know, my mind, because I let a lot of things that I was doing that was working slip. And so it was hard for me. It wasn't as easy as it used to be to just get off the wicky wacky train and move. It was like moving a mountain, right? To try to change the trajectory of my thought process. So we're going to talk about those things, right? We're going to talk about how to start moving your thought process and start focusing on your I am, your God self, the one that can help you, the one that gives you breath every day, who gives you life, your goddess, your spirit, your source, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. You know, I don't want to call him Jesus. Fine. I don't care. Whatever it is, that life force that's inside of you can guide you and direct you. So I also hurt my back again. I had a cane. I had a purple cane, matched my purple lipstick that my son had to buy. Well, my son bought for me. And I was, that happened in July of this year. And I was giving Cleopatra a bath, and I wasn't bent over. I was sitting on the edge of the tub, and then when I stood up, oh my God, my whole back seized up, and I was like, what in the fresh hell is this? And I just looked at her. She got stuck in the tub. She was looking at me like, Mom, can you get me out? Mom? And she was stuck in the tub. So I said, you're going to have to stay there because I can't get you out. It's just not going to happen. I can't get you out. You stay in the tub and give Mommy a minute. And I slid down and sat down on the toilet. Thank God the toilet is right next, not too far away from the tub. So I wasn't, I didn't have to go too far. And I slid down and I sat down and I just stayed there for like 15 minutes. She finally, because she's short, she's a little dog. She finally got herself up and out of the tub on her own. And I thought that was the end of it. I popped the Tylenol or whatever, and that didn't work. So I went to work. I came back. It was still hurting. It was crazy. And then I went to a chiropractor. Everybody was telling me to go to a chiropractor. I took acupuncture, where they stick all the needles in you. Okay? Had all these needles all the way up my spine and on my leg and on my thigh. That didn't work. The chiropractor gave me a little bit of relief. And then the final time I went to the chiropractor and I heard a pop. She said, "Ooh, did you hear that?" I was like, "Yeah, I heard that. That didn't feel good, but I heard it." So she said, "Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. You're going to get, that's wonderful." Let me tell you how not wonderful it was. So I came home and took the bus home. And the bus driver was stressful. He did not know how to bribe a bus. He did not know how to bribe a bus, as what's his name used to say on the Honeymoons, Jackie Gleason. He did not know how to bribe a bus. This bus driver was out of control. He just kept jerking. I think he knew that I just came back from the chiropractor. I just got on the bus from the chiropractor, because he jerked all the way. And it was like, 10 miles to get back to my house. And then I had to walk home up a hill. And finally, when I got home, I laid down, I went to bed, got up the next morning. I didn't even walk Cleopatra. I brought her downstairs. I live on the second floor. I brought her downstairs and I said, something is not right here. I'm going to get my keys. I'm going to get everything that I really need. I called into work and I said, you know what? I'm going to log in from home. I'm going to work from home today and I'll log in at 12. I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel really good and I'm going to lay down. But something in my spirit said, when you lay down, make sure you have everything that you need around you, because you may not get back up. And I opened up the window just as much as I could. I could only open it up about this much. The window is near my bed. It was this much that I could open up the window. And I put my keys in that little slot there. And I lay down. I laid down. And anytime I moved, if I went like this, it felt like somebody was inside of my leg, twisting it. It was like a snake was in my leg, wrapped around from my thigh all the way down to my foot, and just tighten it up. It was so tight. I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't stand it. I was screaming. I was screaming in my house, in my bed, in my apartment. I could not get out of the bed. I laid in that bed from 7 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when the ambulance came, because my son came and picked me up, and the ambulance came and they took me to the hospital because I couldn't even move. I was in the hospital 3 days. I came out of the hospital. This was in July 31st, August. I came out of the hospital with a walker on the second floor. That's what they did. They gave me a walker. Who gives somebody a walker on the second floor? And I was stuck in my apartment pretty much for the whole summer. I didn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even walk. And I was in physical therapy, and they gave me a cane. My son got me a cane, and I was able to finally get back to work in September, walking with my cane. I don't use the cane now. I'm much better. Thank you, God. However, that's how I spent. And I said, you know what? Your spirit can heal you, because they wanted me to have surgery on my back. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. I've been listening to Dr. Sebi, and Dr. Sebi says if you were meant to have surgery, you would have come with a zipper. So I said, no, I'm not going to do surgery. I'm going to continue physical therapy, and physical therapy is going to make me better. And I know who my creator is, and I know that if I get back and start doing the things that I used to do, I will get healed. I did it before, and it'll do it again. And I am here to say that I only have 3 more weeks left of physical therapy. I no longer walk with my cane, and every once in a while, if it rains really, really, really hard, then like it is today, then I have a little bit of an issue, but nothing like I had before. Because they were saying, "Oh, you have to have surgery. We're gonna operate on you," and I was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Sorry, not on my back. We're not doing surgery. I'm gonna work this out." So we worked it out, and so I'm here with you. Yay! Also, I think I want to talk about tickling our amygdala. What time is it? 11:38. And then we're going to get into some of the things that you want to do for this year. Like, what do you want to do this year coming, the new year, 2019? We can start right now. We can start today. We're still in 2018. So you can actually say to someone, "Oh, I started this last year." Mm-hmm. Right? Do you remember how to tickle your amygdala? Do you remember where your amygdala is? Do you remember where your amygdala is, Linda? Gary? Gary said, yay! I'm just wondering, do you remember where your amygdala is? I know where it is. You're just going to tickle it for 17 seconds. Because the benefit... Linda said, yes. When was the last time you tickled your amygdala, Linda? Gary, when was the last time you tickled your amygdala? I need some water. Where'd I put it? I lost my water. Behind your nose. Okay. All right. That'll work. Well, your amygdala is on the side. You take the feather and you go in the forehead, but it's on the side here. 6 months ago? Wow, that's good. It's right above your temples, the amygdala. And when the amygdala is closed, right above your temple, well, it's right around in here, right around here. So when your amygdala is closed, that's a fright or flight feeling. So you feel, it's a bad feeling. But when your amygdala is open, you're smiling, you're happy, and it also helps you. It's in your, through your frontal lobe, opens up your frontal lobe, and you're able to focus better. You're able to come up with better ideas, better thoughts, and I think we should start doing that again and start focusing on tickling our amygdala, even if it's for 17 seconds. So you have to close your eyes. I'm not going to close my eyes because I'm on the YouTube channel. So you close your eyes, and I will guide you, direct you. So you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to imagine that you have a feather in your hand. So you have to imagine that you have this feather right here, right? I don't know what color your feather is going to be. You decide what the color is going to be. You decide what it's going to look like. It needs to be kind of long, though, because it has to go inside of your forehead. So you're going to imagine the feather, that you have in your right or left hand, it doesn't matter. And you're going to imagine what it feels like by feeling the bristles. My nails, I didn't do my nails today, so don't get mad. Don't get up. Don't put stuff in the comments about my nails being chipped because I was busy today cleaning my house, getting ready for New Year's. So you're going to imagine that you have the feather and you're going to feel the bristles. Just imagine that you're feeling the bristles. What does this feel like? It's soft. It should feel soft. Okay? So you have, I know it looks kind of crazy, but just imagine that you have the feather. And then you're going to take the feather and you're going to move it over into the center of your forehead. Imagine that's the feather going into your forehead. You slide it in. I can feel it starting to tickle already. And then you move the feather inside of your head now over to the right side and you tickle your amygdala on the right side of your head. And then you slide it over and you tickle your amygdala on the left side of your head. And if you don't feel anything, keep trying it. Keep trying. Just tickle it on the right and then move it over and tickle it on the left. You should be smiling by the time you're done. And if you can imagine, if you can remember to do that in your times of stress. I was tickling my amygdala when my back was hurting. Not one before they came and got me and took me to the hospital. I couldn't do anything then. I couldn't think. I couldn't focus. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. But it was later on after I came home, and I was feeling stressed. I was feeling pain. I would tickle my amygdala, and that did help. It did help. So those things, are helpful. Linda has a big smile. I know I was smiling when I tickled my amygdala. So even if you do that for 17 seconds, just 17 seconds, people say that, focus on something good, focus on something good. But if you're in the middle of wicky-wacky or you're in the middle of pain, sometimes you can't think of something good. And that's something that you can actually do that you don't really have to think a good thought. When you're in pain, you can't think of a good thought. You're thinking, I want the pain to stop. When you're in the middle of having a problem or, you have an issue at work or something like that and you can't think and you can't focus, tickle your amygdala. That's what I do now. I tickle my amygdala. I remember to tickle my amygdala. So again, we are in the Indigo room and I'm your host, Sydney Chase, and we're discussing some of the things. What are some of the things you want to begin the new 2019? Because we're still in 2018. We got 15 minutes. 15 minutes! You got 15 minutes to come up with something that you want to begin new this year. Can you think of something you want to begin new this year, Linda? One new thing. Gary, one new thing. I know for me, one new thing is learning how to work YouTube and how to create content. And I started that already in 2018. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. And the other thing I'm working on is, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say that one thing. The other thing I'm going to keep to myself. And, are you thinking? Is that what are you thinking? Is that what the is for, Gary? Because you're thinking? It's not, we always start weaving again. You used to weave? Oh, that's kind of cool. So if you go into the new year without a plan and you just say, I'm working on a couple things, more sewing. Oh, do tell. Really? You're making things? You're sewing? Being like handy things? Thinking slowly. Nice. Well, here's what I want to say. If we all go into the new year without a plan, if you're not planning, if you're failing to plan, then you're planning to fail. You remember that old saying? So I was listening to a old video that was going around YouTube a couple years ago, and it was Jim Carrey. And he said something really, really, making quilt tops for my mom's church charity and decorative pillows. Oh. Hey, are you planning on selling those? Or are you just doing it for the charity? That's very nice. That's very cool. Can we get an Indigo room pillow? Just I'm not, no pressure. Just putting it out there. Maybe we can get an Indigo room basket. You're weaving, Linda. What Jim Carrey said was, you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. I love that, right? You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. You might as well take a chance on doing what you love. So if you don't have a plan, like literally, I have my day planner, which I didn't bring out with me. I have my day planner, and I'm literally planning each day. Like, okay, people say live in the moment. I get that, and I'm pretty much a live in the moment kind of girl. And focus on the now, and but you also have to plan as well, because tomorrow is coming. It's not here yet. It's gonna come, I think, right? Hopefully, it's about here. It's almost here. It's almost here in like 10 more minutes. It'll be here tomorrow. So you do want to have some sort of plan. So I started mapping out January. January is almost filled with things that I'm going to do each day, right? So in my planner, I have meditate and read, journal every day. I wrote that out every day. Now you may think that I don't need to write that out every day. That's something that I should just be doing. Sometimes I forget. So it's good to have the plan, right? That's my plan. My plan is to do that first thing, because I have a wicky-wacky schedule and it's hard to remember sometimes. So I have to remind myself. And when I write stuff down, I usually remember it. I remember it better when I write it down. I don't know why I was looking over there. I should be looking over here too, but this is new to me. So, bear with me. And I write everything in my planner. So this show was planned. It was planned actually for Saturday, and I wound up doing it today. But it was planned. It was in my planner, right? And I started again doing the tea for the day. 10 things that I'm going to do go on one side, and the stuff that I know that I know that I'm not going to be able to do, but I would like to get those things done. I put that on the universe's side to handle. And it's funny because yesterday when I did my tea, so you put a line down the piece of paper, put a T on put a line across, that makes a T. And then on one side you title what I plan to do today. Try not to overwhelm yourself. If I start out with 5 things, sometimes I wind up with 10. But I know I can do those 10. And then on this side I have universe, God, right? So yesterday I hadn't planned on doing laundry. I was going to do my laundry today. And I had it on the universe's side to handle. Because I figured, everybody's doing laundry. Everybody's doing laundry, and I'm not going down there right now. I'm going to focus on the things, that I'm going to do, and this is my list of things. So, and here's my list. There's my list. I don't know if you could see it. Can you see? But laundry is right there. It's on the universe's side. And my neighbor knocked on my door. I had just finished meditating, right? And I was starting to clean up because clean my apartment was also on the list, and that's on washing dishes, do laundry. I had do laundry ? And then I crossed it out and put it on the universe's side because I was like, I'm not doing laundry today. And then create a recording for the Indigo room, figure out the date and time for the live show, I'm doing a video class, so I'm doing that, and then relearn TalkShoe because I had to relearn TalkShoe. So those are the things that I meditate, read, wash dishes, get dressed. Those are the things I had on my list of things to do. She came knocking on my door. What time is it? 11:53. She came knocking on my door, and she says, I opened up the door, and she says, hey girl, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I just finished, I'm working on my show. She said, well, I'm getting ready to do my laundry. I went down there and there's nobody down there. You should get down there and do your laundry too. There's no one in the laundry room. I was like, what? She said, there's nobody in the laundry room. She said, and I just finished my load and you can go right behind me. If you come right behind me, you'll be able to get your stuff in there and get it done. And I just didn't feel like it. But I said, you know what? Let me go down and see what she's talking about. So I got my clothes together, whatever, went downstairs, and sure enough, her clothes were just finishing. I was able to put them in. And once I put them in, other people started coming down to do the laundry. So the universe made a space for me to be able to do that. That's all I'm trying to say. I didn't have to go down there and find out if who was doing laundry. And had I waited to do it today, the laundry room was packed. So sometimes the things that you think that you're going to do, the universe finds a way for you to do what's on the list anyway. So, and I got to stage my apartment. That's on the list too for the universe. So don't forget, right? It's a great list making, great reminder. Yes. So try that. Make a plan. If you're going to be weaving, decide how many days you're going to weave. We got 5 minutes. Countdown is coming. Decide how many days a week you're going to weave. Like I have in my planner that the live show for the Indigo Room is going to be on Wednesdays from 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. That's every Wednesday. And then on Saturday, I'll be making recordings to be able to upload to the Indigo Room. So, now I have to also add in relearn TalkShoe because apparently it's not working properly. I don't know. I might not even be on TalkShoe anymore. Maybe I won't even do that anymore. But it is helpful to be able to see your plan on what you want to do. And maybe it's that you want to read more. I know for me, I wanted to read more. So I have to write it down. I have to slot that time to read. So I meditate and read. That's my list. I take my book with me every day now, and I read it on the train and the subway. I don't look at my phone for Facebook. Facebook eats up a lot of time. Let me just say. And nothing wrong with Facebook. I love Facebook, but it eats up a lot of time. So I had to also do that. I had to also, first I have to bring the loom to my house, in my house. Well, where's the loom at, Linda? Where's the loom? In the garage? Or you have to buy one? But I had to make time for that. You have to make time for that. And I said to myself, okay, I'm only going to allow 15 minutes a day on Facebook. 15 minutes? Who does 15 minutes? Oh, it's in your garage. Okay. So you have to bring that in. You out there in beautiful Arizona. And you had snow before us. We didn't even have snow in New York City yet. No snow. Not one drop. Nothing. Oh no, we did have a little snow and then it was gone. It turned into rain. Right before, I think, well, yeah, it was just a little bit of snow and then it turned into rain. It wasn't even real snow. It was slush. It was schnush. But yeah, so Facebook eats up a lot of time. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I was on Facebook a lot. You know, I take my break from work and I'm scrolling through my thing, and I'm, you know, on the train, I'm scrolling through my Facebook, and I'm looking around, and everybody's got their head down in their phone. So I said, I can't do that. I gotta be different. I have to be different. So now I give myself 15 minutes. I scroll real quick. I look at the time. I was like, okay, that took me 2 minutes. If I don't see your post, that's the reason. If I don't see your birthday, that's the reason. Happy birthday to all the December babies out there. Just let me say that too. But I'm making it so that I just don't have, I'm just like, 15 minutes. And 15 minutes goes by very quickly when you reading a post or you want to comment on a post. And then the next thing you know, your 15 minutes for the day is up. And so I'm being very, very diligent with myself about that. And it winds up now that I'm not even really on that much anymore, which is cool. So that frees up time for me to be able to read, to be able to plan, to be able to map out my day. And I'm mapping out my day and the month at a time. So pulling the loom out of your garage may be a plan that you want to do this week. Just saying. I don't know. So Gary, your big plan for 2019 is focusing on wealth and success. Okay, but what does that mean for you? Oh my goodness, it's 11:59. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's still 11:59. It's still 11:59. I'm so glad I got to spend New Year's with you. I'm so happy that I got to spend New Year's. Oh, it's New Year's! Happy New Year! Woo! Happy New Year! Happy New Year, Gary! Happy New Year, Linda! I know it's not New Year's where you are, but it's New Year's in New York City. We are now in 2019. Happy New Year, Cleopatra! I don't know if you could hear the fireworks out here and the loud noises. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm so happy to be spending this time with you all in 2019. So we went from 2018 together right on into 2019. And you started your plan. You started your New Year's plan in 2018. Isn't that great? I love it. I know. You got three more hours to go. Isn't that wonderful? Linda got 2 more hours to go. So you guys can still work on your plan and continue to work on your plan before 2019 comes in. But you said Gary, you said your big plan is for focusing on wealth and success. What does that mean for you? Does that mean looking for different streams of income? Are you moving? You want to move up in your company? What do you mean? Oh, you're still planning. Okay. Well, that's good. Oh, you have 1 hour to go. I thought you were 2 hours ahead of me, Linda. You only 1 hour ahead of me? Arizona's only 1 hour? Oh, Cleopatra's up. Those are the broad terms. Okay. So what would be your next step then, do you think? Not that I need to know, but you might want to start looking at some steps and start literally writing your plan out on a piece of paper and doing your lists like I suggested. I mean, you don't have to, but I think that might be a good idea. More streams of income, passive income, restarting my own biz, my own home. Great. Those are great goals. Now you want to start looking at the streams of income that you can create. You might want to do a YouTube channel. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. But anyway, I'm glad I got to spend New Year's Eve and New Year's Day now with you. Seriously, list making. Yes. The list making is keeping me on point, and it's keeping me to task. And like I said, I even put my meditation in there, my reading in there, the things. Listen, on my list of things to do is take a shower, do my hair, because that eats up time. So I want to make sure that I'm not, that everything is in my list of things. And I'm telling you that when you even put those things on, wash dishes or clean your room or take the garbage out, and you start checking off those lists, you start checking things off, you start to feel like you've accomplished something, even though it's seemingly small, like taking out the trash. How many times have you, said to yourself, oh, I got to take out the trash, and the trash still sits there? And then it's like, I don't know, sometimes that happens to me. You get busy, or, you're watching TV even, or you're on Facebook, and then, next thing you know, 3 hours have passed, you're tired, you're going to bed, and the trash is still there, and you should have taken it out last night, but now you got to get up, and you got to go to work, and the trash is still there, and you go, oh, I'll get it tonight. And then you come home, and you do the same damn thing that you did last night, and the trash sits there another night. How often does that happen? So I make everything goes on the list, even things that seemingly insignificant, because when I can check it off, it also feels good that you check those things off. So if you're only going to do 5 things today, and some of those things are labor intensive and it takes a lot of time. Linda says, yes, I do need to write down what I want to accomplish. I have already planned to go to a genealogy conference in May 2019. That's great. That's awesome. So you want to make your lists manageable, right? For one, I love putting on small stuff on my list because I feel good when I've accomplished those small things. And when you leave small things, the small things become big things. So if you're planning and you're focusing on your plan, then that means you're planning to for success. So we want to start new beginnings for the new year to plan for success. So you started your plan in 2018. Now you have to make sure that you map it out and carry it out in 2019. So for me, it's getting my YouTube channel up and running, and this is the second video I did today. So this is going to be I did 2 things on my list. I got those things done. I also, now that was my list from yesterday, but today my list was say Happy New Year to family and friends. I didn't get all my family, but I got a lot of them, okay? And friends, do my hair and makeup. Well, my makeup's done. I think I look okay. And my hair's did, because I could have been putzing around this house all day and then, oh my God, it's almost 11, and I would have had no makeup on and nothing like that. So I made sure that got done. Do video for Indigo Room. That was on my list. I have 2 videos. I only had do 1, but I have 2. That was accomplished. Set up recording space. I did that. I started to do that. I didn't finish it. I started to do that. Linda Patrick is on my list. You're number 12, Linda. You were on my list. You don't believe me? Look, here it is. Look. Wait. Can you see? Linda Patrick. Number 12. You're on my list. Take out garbage. That was done. That was done. I'm very, very excited with myself that I got the garbage out before the new year rolled in. Meditate, read, and pick up some wine, which I did. Pick that up today. I got my wine for my New Year's. I'm gonna have a little wine after I hang up with y'all, and then I have my universe to handle side. Yes, you made my list. YouTube channel, podcast, clean apartment, website, sage apartment, spray, Arzu. She's back in town too. So she's starting a YouTube channel. She gave me a spray, and this is like to remove negativity from my space. So I'm spraying that, and I'm going to restage the apartment tonight before I go to bed. So I have from my sister for Christmas, I already saged myself this morning, my little sage smudge stick. See? My smudge stick. Yes, my nails look terrible, but I've been cleaning all day, so that's why. And this is my smudge pot. So I'm going to be doing that and saging the apartment today before I go to bed. So, yeah, I don't have any wine in my glass. But Happy New Year! No wine, but Happy New Year. I'm going to act like I have some. Nope, there's nothing in there. So I love you both, and I want to thank you for being with me and celebrating New Year's with me. And I know that you have a couple of hours to go, and I want to wish you a Happy New Year. And I want to wish anybody that watches this video, who joins us, what new thing are you going to begin this year? You can write it down there in the comments section. And if there's a topic that you want to talk about in the Indigo Room, write it down there in the comment section. Also, you can visit our old podcasts, some of our old podcasts that we talk about Neville Goddard. We talk about I am statements and creating your reality. And we're going to be coming back and bringing a lot of new content to the Indigo Room. We're going to be talking about how to create your reality, how to remove negative thoughts from your mind. I like to call them wicky-wacky thoughts. They're not, because negative has such a really kind of messed up feeling. So we call them wicky-wacky. So you're going to learn how to remove wicky-wacky thoughts from your mind. You're going to learn how to tickle your amygdala. You're going to learn how to feel good. We are going to be back Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. We're going to be doing a live show. And we are going to discuss using our imagination and how to use our imagination. And we're also going to be discussing the I am statements and how to use your I am statements effectively. I've been rereading, as I said, the I am discourses again. And one of the things that you can do, and is really, really helpful, is to state, I am the resurrection and the life. I know that sounds crazy. I know that Jesus said that. I know that you're going to say that you're not Jesus. But I'm just telling you, over and over, when you start to feel kind of crazy or something's got your attention that you don't really like, use that. It's like a balm for your soul. I do it all the time. I do it often. If I'm walking, if I'm standing, waiting for the subway to come and it hasn't gotten here yet, and I say, I am the subway in the life. I am the subway in the life. I do say that I am the subway though, too. Because your I am presence is everywhere. It's in you. And, when you say I am here, and there and everywhere, you're really talking about your God self. And it changes things. It really, really does. And the other thing I wanted to share with you was, if something's really got your attention, because if it's got your attention, then you don't have God. You're not focused on your inside. You're not focused on your God self. But I wrote this down, and I'm going to hang it up so that I can see it all the time. And it is, I know I am free from this thing forever. I don't know if you could see that. I am, I know I am, and it's backwards, free from this thing forever. I am is all there is, everywhere, present, visible, and invisible. I am is all there is, everywhere, present, visible, and invisible. So even if you can't figure out what I am statement to say, just say I am over and over and over in your thoughts, in your mind, until you're not focused on the crazy wicky wacky thought. The other one that I say is, I am the presence, what is it? Can't even remember. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the presence, filling my world with perfection this day. I am the presence, filling my world, mind, you can use whatever. I usually say filling my world and my mind with perfection this day. And I say it over and over, and I think it over and over. Sometimes I whisper it underneath my breath, because our words are powerful, and our energy changes when we speak those words, when we say them out loud, or when we think them. It's better to say it out loud, but if you're sitting on the subway, people think you're crazy. And you start talking to yourself. Even though the phones now work on the subway, they still think you're crazy when you're talking to yourself. So say it to yourself when you're on the subway. But when you're home, you can say it out loud. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the presence filling my world with perfection this day. And I am. Thank you, Linda. Yay. Linda said you can listen to past Indigo Room shows at talkshoe.com and search for the Indigo Room. Exactly. Search for the Indigo Room, Creating Our Reality talk show. And the ID number is 33443. We're also on iTunes, so you can check us out on iTunes as well. And I have to figure out how to get this over there onto the other side so that it can be on iTunes. But for now, we're over here. We moved. We're moving on up. Anyway, thank you for being here. I am going to sign off with our usual sign off that we haven't done in a long time. And that is, remember who you are. Remember that you are source energy here in a physical body. Remember that you are magnificent. Remember that you can be, do, and have anything you desire. And remember, it's not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It's your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. Thank you for joining us here at the Indigo Room. I love you. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Yay! Happy New Year. Welcome to 2019. Bye.